From the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C.
Welcome, Tyler Elementary School. It's so good to have you guys. So welcome to the Library of Congress Young Reader Center. We have two really awesome guests for you today. So the first person is on my right. He is illustrator Brian Biggs, and he collaborated on this book, Noisy Night. And you might know him for a series of books called Everything Goes and Tinyville. And on my left, we have author Mac Barnett, and he has written a lot of books that you might have heard of as well, such as Extra Yarn, or maybe you know Leo, A Ghost Story. And I'm sure every single public library and school library has the books by these awesome individuals. So, without further ado, I just want to introduce and welcome our authors. So everybody say... welcome.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
absolutely. How about a huge round of applause for us? Yes. Oh, please, please, please. No, please, more applause. Please, please. Oh, that feels good. Oh, we're going to need that for the walk home. Good morning. How are you? My name is Mac Barnett.
My name is Brian Biggs.
I'm an author.
I'm an illustrator.
What's my job? What does that mean if I'm an author? What does an author do? Yeah, what does an author do? That's exactly right. I write books, yeah. How about an illustrator? What does an illustrator do? Does anyone know what an illustrator does? Yeah.
Like pictures?
Yay!
The pictures. That's exactly right. So Brian is actually an author-illustrator. He's really good at writing words and pictures, so sometimes he makes his books and he puts the pictures inside them, and he puts the words inside them, and he does it all himself. Me, I'm just an author. I'm not very good at drawing pictures at all. But luckily, I have friends like Brian, so when I write a book that needs some pictures, Brian and I can work together and make the book. So this is actually a book we just made called Noisy Night. This book is so new, it just came out 3 days ago. That was the first day that you could find this book at a library. That was the first day that you could find this book at a bookstore. That was what is known in the publishing business as this book's book birthday. And I know what you're thinking. I didn't buy your book a birthday present. I didn't send your book a birthday card. I never even sang happy birthday to your book.
Oh, my goodness.
I know. And our book knows too, trust me. We were driving over here this morning, and we were listening to the radio. It was fun. We were having some good music on. I like to listen to the radio really loud when I drive. And our book was like, hey, Brian and Mac. Hey, Brian and Mac. And I turned down the radio. We talk to our book sometimes. It's not crazy. And our book was like, hey, Brian and Mac, where are we going? I said, the Library of Congress. Our book was like, that's really exciting. Who are we going to see there? I was like, we are going to see the kids from Tyler Elementary. Yeah, that was exciting for me. Our book, though, did not say woohoo. Our book was like, Tyler Elementary. Psh. Those are the kids who forgot about my birthday. And it was awkward.
It was awkward.
But we can fix this. Now, I don't know if you've ever sung happy birthday to a book before. But you don't just get to say happy birthday, dear book. No, you have to say the book's full title. Happy birthday, dear Noisy Night. Written by Mac Barnett. And illustrated by Brian Biggs. Published by Roaring Brook, an imprint of Macmillan, copyright 2017.
That's it.
So that was a lot. I know that was a lot. I know that was a lot. So we're going to practice that once through. So listen carefully and then repeat back what I just said, all right? Ready? Happy birthday, dear Noisy Night, written by Mac Barnett and illustrated by Brian Biggs, published by Roaring Brook, copyright 2017. 1, 2, 3. Everybody say that.
1, 2, 3.
That was a good try.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah, that was good.
I think we got it. Perfect. All right. All right, we're warmed up, ready to go. I don't know what could go wrong.
Nothing.
Let's warm up our voices. Everybody give me this note. Beautiful, beautiful. Now if I could get this note from you.
That was pretty
Cool,
good.
cool. I don't know if either of those notes are in the song, but that was cool. That was cool. All right, our voices are warmed up. Let's sing Happy Birthday to this book. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you.
Come on, sing, everybody.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Noisy Night,
written by Mac Barnett, illustrated by Brian Biggs, published by Roaring Brook Press.
imprint of Macmillan.
Copyright 2017. That's it.
Happy birthday to you. Woo! Oh, how beautiful. That was a beautiful moment. That was a beautiful moment. All right, I'm feeling good. Are you feeling good, Brian?
I already, yeah.
The book's feeling good. Let's do this. Here we go. Noisy Night. You can see here is a kid asleep in bed. Noisy Night. Written by me. Illustrated by
Me.
the kid says, "What is going la 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 above my head?" Yeah, what do you think is making that noise? What do you think is going la la la? Yeah, what do you think?
People are stomping on the roof.
People stomping around on the roof? Let's see. Let's see. That's a good guess. That's what happens at my house all the time, I'll tell you that. A man is singing opera above my head, and he says, la la la. Can you do that for me? 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
Yeah, are you classically trained? That was amazing.
That's the best yet.
That was amazing. And now the opera man says, what is going ma, ma, ma above my head? What do you think is going ma, ma, ma above his head? What do you think is making that noise? What would make a noise like that? Does anyone have a guess? What do you think? Yeah.
Maybe a scooter.
Oh, a scooter. Yeah, because we have some wheels here, right? It could be a scooter. Let's see. A baby is cooing above my head, and the baby says, ma, ma, ma. Can you do that? Yeah, let's do it all at once. 1, 2, 3. That's good. You guys sound like a bunch of babies. That's amazing. That's amazing. And now the baby says, what is going ba, ba, ba above my head? What do you think it is? What's going ba, ba, ba? A sheep.
What?
This is an apartment building.
That doesn't make any sense.
A sheep living in an apartment building? I don't think so. That's just crazy. It's a sheep. You were right. 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 You were right.
He had a little fist pump
is
there.
Speaking above my head, and the sheep goes, bah, bah, bah. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. That's good. That's good. That's good. And now the sheep says, what is going ha, ha, ha above my head? What would make that noise? Ha, ha, ha. We have a little clue there. What do you think?
The cowboys.
Cowboys? Let's see. Cowboys are laughing above my head. And they go, how, how, how. Can we do that? 1, 2, 3.
Ha, ha, ha.
That's good. And they say, what is going wah, wah, wah above our heads? What would make that noise? What would do that? Anybody have a guess? Here's the picture. What do you think? A girl. Let's see. A girl is playing trumpet above our heads.
Nice
You
work.
got it. Yeah. And the trumpet goes, wah, wah, wah. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
Yeah. And the girl says, what is going caw, caw, caw above my head? Yeah, do you have a guess? A crow. A crow is squawking above my head. And the crow goes, caw, caw, caw. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. Caw, caw, caw. Fantastic. And now the crow says, what is going rah, rah, rah above my head? What do we think? What is going rah, rah, rah? Any guesses? Yeah, do you have a guess? Maybe it's just a man with funny shoes. That looks like a good guess to me. Let's see. Cheerleaders are cheering above my head. And they say, rah, rah, rah. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. There they are. And they say, what is going cha-cha-cha above our heads? What is going cha-cha-cha? Dancers. What? A couple is dancing above our heads. And it goes cha-cha-cha. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was good. That was smooth. And they say, what is going blah, blah, blah above our heads? What do you think? Let's see. Somebody's sleeping. Let's see. An old man is hollering, go to bed! Let's all try to holler that at once. 1, 2, 3. Click. The lights all turn off below him. And then he turns off the light. And he goes to bed. And that is the end of Noisy Nights.
Yeah.
Give yourselves a big round of applause for those noises. Oh, you guys.
Yeah, the sound effects were
That was
good.
fantastic. Brian, will you show us a little bit about how you made all those great pictures?
I would love to show you a little bit about how I made those, what were they?
Great pictures.
Great pictures. Thank you, Mac. Hey guys, does anybody here like to draw? Nobody likes to draw? Not a single person in this room likes, you like to draw? Give me 5 on that one. All right, because I like to draw. Whoops. So this is an amazing behind-the-scenes look at how I illustrated Noisy Night by Brian Biggs. So I like to think that authors actually draw. You know, they sit around and they draw, and they think of good ideas for books, and then they write the words with them. But what I always see is just the words. So you guys, the authors write the story, and in this case, the sound effects as well. And then the illustrator, me, I put the words or the pictures to the words. So here, I'm going to show you first some other books I illustrated. I forget the order of this thing sometimes. It's gotten carried away as well. We're going to try to do this again. All right, stay there this time. All right. So these are some books that I illustrated. Some of them I wrote as well. Here are some books I did not illustrate. These were written by Mac, and they were illustrated by other fine illustrators. John Klassen, Christian Robinson, Matt Myers. So this was what I saw. This was the book the way it existed before I illustrated it.
Look at that. That's the whole book.
That's the whole book right there. So my favorite part about it was this part right here. I focused in on what words I really like. And that was it right there, the word noisy. You guys like the word noisy? Yeah. When I first saw this manuscript, I was really afraid it was going to be called something like Quiet Night or Really Silent People in an Apartment Building Night. But instead it was called Noisy Night, and it got me really excited about that. And I thought about it and I said, how can I illustrate the word noisy? So I started thinking about how I might do that. And we have wah, 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 and la, la, la. And that was the first thing I thought about with it. Cha, 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 and ma, 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 and ka, 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 and ha, ha, ha. And I don't remember all the other.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. They've memorized the book already, Mac. It's incredible. So this is some of the sketches I did for some of the sound effects. You can see the ka, 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 the wah, wah, wah. And this is on just pieces of paper with a pen or a pencil. And that's the way I start thinking about a book first. It's just what's going to be my favorite parts about it. Drawing little sketches. Do you guys know what a sketch is? Anybody thought about a sketch? What's a sketch? You.
A sketch is kind of like writing with a pen or a pencil.
I think you're exactly right. It's like practice drawing. So before I make the final paintings for the book, I do little practice drawings with a pen or a pencil. You're exactly right.
Something I like about these, I think is so cool, is you made these words look like they sound.
That's important. Goodness. You're right.
Speaking of sounds.
Yeah. Can everyone please turn off their cell phones, including the author? Thank you very much. You can see there's a ha-ha on the far right that was very different from the way it ended up being. And so that's actually a really good point. I start thinking about what does the word la, la, la look like? So this is the la, la, la in a sketch here, when really it turned out very different. The way the call looked was right on from the very beginning. And so that was really interesting to me. And so here's the la, 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 the way it turned out. Here's some of the text. A girl is playing trumpet above our heads. It looks like cowboy type. So if cowboys were talking, it just comes from maybe old posters I've seen, or if you go to a Western saloon. I'm sure you've all been to Western saloons a lot. You can see that kind of type on the menu. So I'm going to show you some sketches. That's what the sketches are. These are practice drawings. And what you're going to see is this is a sketch of the cha-cha dancers, how they looked at first. I have a mirror in my studio. And the way I get my ideas is I dance in front of the mirror, and then I draw what I see. I'm a really, really fine cha-cha dancer, too. I'm not going to show you. You're all just going to have to believe me. So here's some sketches of a cha-cha dancer. And then this is how the finished drawing looked here. So you can see it's a little different. For the most part, it's kind of pretty close, right? Oops, there's my opera singer there. Some pencil drawings with the la-la. Here's another sketch there. And then we go to the finished drawing. Whoops. Come on. Technology. This is the finished drawing here. It's a black and white drawing on paper, and then it goes into the computer and gets colored on the computer here. And these are the finished pages there. So here's some cowboys. You guys ever draw cowboys? Has anybody ever? What's the most important part of a cowboy to draw, you think? The hat? Like cowboy hats? Do you guys have a cowboy hat?
Yeah,
you have a cowboy hat, right?
What did you think? What was the most important part? Cowboy hat, yep.
She's just saying that. Okay, I'm going to go with it. More cowboys. Sometimes cowboys have big glasses, right? Do you think cowboys might have big glasses on? They think something's really funny. This was my favorite stuff to draw because it was the idea that something is so funny, and you have, the best part, it wasn't just one cowboy. Like we had one crow, we had one trumpet player, but he had cowboys in the text and cheerleaders in the text. So it was plural. And I really like the idea of having two cowboys, and it's the idea that they just told a good joke, you know, and we get them just as the joke has been told, and they think it's really funny. In fact, why did you have not just cheerleader and cowboy, but you had two plurals there? I was curious.
Why do I do the things I do, Brian?
That's a good answer, Mac. Thanks for that illuminating reply. Now, you may be surprised that over the 3 or 4 years since we started this book, I've never asked him that question before, but it's just never, we don't talk about the book as I'm doing it, and it hasn't come up until just now. So here's a sketch for that with 4 cowboys, and we ended up just doing the 2. It just doesn't like to stay on one slide. There we go. And then here's the crows. You ever seen a crow with a hat? Now, Mac didn't write that the crow has a hat, but in my imagination, crows have hats. I think it's important that you give a crow a nice little hat. So there he was. His feather fell off. He's pretty upset about it. And then here's the baby. And there's the 2 babies in the book. So the cover is the most important part. Does anybody here judge a book by its cover? Has anybody done that before? You're walking through the bookstore and you see 2 books about Theodore Roosevelt. And one of them is a really ugly cover and one's an amazing cover. You're probably going to get the amazing cover one, right? That's what I do, at least. That's how I buy my records, in fact. So this is the cover of the book, and I knew I had to make it something that was like really gets your attention. So it was going to have a building. It takes place in an apartment building. This is the most important part of the text, is the part that you guys didn't see. The action takes place in an apartment building in the city. What you don't see is with a sheep in it, but there was a sheep in it. So we have a couple of tall buildings, these old apartment buildings that I love the way they look. I'm a big fan of cities. I'm a big fan of the way buildings look and the way cities work and streets and that sort of thing. So I also like these old neon lights that go, that go on top of buildings. This is one here in Brooklyn on the right that I took from the subway. They just pulled that Ken Tile Floors sign down about a year ago or so. Very sad. So you have the hotel signs here. And putting it together, that's kind of the way I thought this would look, the cover would look, is this building with a big neon light on top. So there's some sketches with that, noisy night, and just trying to think, even though these almost all look exactly the same, you can see the difference in the windows, the difference in the angles. Is it a light background with a dark building or a dark background with a light building? And there's a lot of different choices I had in putting this together. So here's a good sketch that we ended up liking. Had to have all the stories in the thing. And then this is a picture I took about 12 years ago in New York City, and this is kind of the mood that I wanted. It's a photo I took from, actually from the Workman Publishing office in Lower Manhattan. And that feel, that kind of almost nighttime feel is exactly what I was trying to go for with the coloring. And so that's kind of what we ended up with there. And it's important, if you look at the bottom, you'll see the boy yelling up, then you see the opera man with the purple, and then you see the baby in the green, the sheep, the cowboys, the trumpet, and you have a crow, and you have cheerleaders, you have cha-cha dancers, and then you have the old man. And do you guys remember what the old man is saying? Go to bed! Go to bed! There he is right there. So thank you very much, you guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Now we have something else we want to show you, but before we do that, we just want to make sure that we answered any questions you had about this book, about being an author or being an illustrator, about making books, about anything. If you have a question, ask it, and we will try to answer it. Yes?
How does it feel like being an author?
Good. Why did I feel like being an author? 3 reasons. I love reading books, I love telling stories, and I love sleeping in really late. And authors get to do all 3 of those things. I read books every day. That's the best way to get better at writing, is to read. I get to tell stories, not just to people who can hear my voice, but to people across the world. I live in California, but you over here in Washington, D.C., could read one of my books. That's crazy.
Yep.
And then I get to wake up whenever I want to. That's even crazier. That's the best. Yeah. Who else has a question?
You wanted to get the microphone in front of us?
Yeah. We have a question back there.
What about when you cross the street, when you hold hands?
That's a good question. When we cross the street, do we hold hands? Yeah, Brian and I did we were at the Capitol a little bit before this, and then we came over and held hands crossing the street. It's very safe. It's the way to do it. It's the way to do it.
Yes. But why do you don't write words?
Oh, why? You know
That
what?
question again.
So I do write words, but I don't do pictures. And the reason for that is when I draw pictures, they're not very good. I would love it if my pictures could come out in a book. In fact, I have one book where I did get to draw some pictures, because in the middle of the book, I fire the illustrator.
That's right.
And I say, I'm taking this book over myself. This book needs a true genius, me. And then I draw all the pictures, and all the pictures are really bad. So I have to rehire the illustrator and rescue him from a lion's belly, because I also made him get swallowed by a lion in that story too. I'm not a great guy. Who else has a question?
Why do you write books the wrong way?
Brian?
You must be talking to me, because Mac doesn't write books the wrong way.
You know what? Writing books the wrong way.
I wanted to illuminate that question.
Writing books the wrong way is always a part of writing books.
That's
the first time you write a book, there's always something wrong with it. And you go back and you try to fix all the things again and again. And you go back and you rewrite it, and there are still things wrong with it, and you rewrite it until finally you say, this is really good. And then you put the book out, and even then, you'll usually find something wrong with it. But they've already printed thousands of copies. And it's okay. You just say, I'll try to do better the next time.
Gotta do it again.
There'll always be something wrong with it. I don't think I'll ever write a perfect book. But that's all right. I'll try to keep getting better.
That was a good answer.
I really like the book because it's so funny.
Yeah, that's a good question. I like that. Let's end with that. End strong. Thank you. You know what?
Yeah.
I'll show you a little bit about writing this book.
Yep.
So it's called Noisy Night, and it's about a noisy apartment building. And when I wrote this book, I lived in a noisy apartment building, heard noises all through the night. And so I said, I'm going to write about my favorite subject, me. So I was like, what's a good noise? What's a good noise? And I sat down, and I was thinking of a good noise, and I started right at the beginning here. What's that? A, the letter A. I said, that's a good noise. It's got that ah sound. Let's all hear ah.
Ah.
Yeah. So I moved on. I was like, all right, we're off to a good start. Where are we going next? B. Perfect. Best place to go next. Ba. Ba, ba, ba. What would make that noise? The sheep. That's exactly right. A sheep. I was like, now I got a character in this book. This is great. C. You're exactly right. That's where I went next.
She's a good writer.
Caw, caw, caw. That's the crow. That's right. I said, I'm on a roll. This thing is firing. Then I went to D. Da, da, da. I couldn't think of anything for that one.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of anything to go da, da, da. So can you help me out? Can you think of something that would make that da, da, da sound? Yeah, what do you think?
Da, da, da. What is up there?
What is up there? What is up there making a da, da, da? So that's good. So that'd be the page before, right?
That's
There'd
the
be
page
maybe
before.
a sheep, and the sheep is saying, da, 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 what is up there? And then you turn the page and you find somebody making, or something going da, da, da. What would
it
make
be?
that noise? Can you think of anything?
No man.
An old man. Yeah, that's right.
We haven't
Let's
drawn
do
an old man.
alternate ending.
An alternate ending.
This is going to be the alternate ending
It's going to be a different old man.
to noise. You know, a different old man. That's
It's gonna
fine.
be. There's
A
two
new
old men
man.
living in this house.
All right. Here we go.
One looks like Santa Claus and one won't.
Right now, do you want to see Brian draw on the spot a new ending to Noisy Night? Let's do it.
This is my powerful Crayola marker. Crayola registered trademark marker. I have to give it credit where credit's due. This chair is in my way. Oops. I mean to step on your water there. I hope that's okay. All right. So, as a trained professional illustrator, I have lots of shapes that I draw. I have lots of ways to get started with a drawing. I know secrets that you may not know about how to start an illustration. This is going to be amazing. Is everybody ready? It's going to be an old man, and we're going to have to start somewhere. Watch this. It's pretty good, right? Does anybody know what this shape is? Yes, sir. Wrong. Does anybody know what this shape, use your imagination, is? Yes, ma'am. It's a what? A spear? No. Does any, one more. Yes. It's okay. It is a circle now. We have changed it because I cannot argue with children any longer than 3 times. I have teenagers. They can argue all day. These guys I'm not going to do. What I like to think of this is as it's a head. So you see what I mean? So if I draw this, for instance, does anybody know what this is? Yes. That's a better answer than circle. But I'm going to give you one more hint with this. It's getting complicated now. How about that? Okay, I'm going to give you one more hint.
Wait, I think I heard it.
All right, is anybody starting recognizing it now?
It is. Go for it.
Yes.
Go for it.
No,
I think we have it back here.
it's a donut. Come on. I'm a pro. I've won awards. I'm a New York Times best-selling illustrator. All right, so we're going to start getting a little crazy here. This is where it gets tough. Now you might think this is just a backwards letter C, but it's not. This old man's doing something. All right, all right, all right. He's excited about this. What was it again? Yeah, he's excited about this donut. Oh my gosh, circle. All right, so old men have thick glasses, right?
I know one who does. Yeah.
I'm going to take this opportunity to tell everybody that yesterday was my birthday, and I turned 49 years old, and so I think I fit into the old man category now. And my daughter last night pointed out that even my mustache was starting to turn gray. So this morning I almost shaved it off before I left the house. All right, so here's this. Mac, you didn't know it was my birthday yesterday, did you?
Yeah, no, you've never mentioned it before.
Never mentioned it yesterday. All right, so old men also have a lot of wrinkles on their faces. And they have these big mustaches here. And it's going to have scribbles in it here. And they've got no hair, so I'm not that old because I got lots of hair. And then they wear ties. Okay? Ties. Okay? So this old man, and what was the word again? Anybody remember? I think the word was da, da, da.
Yeah.
Ah! He wants a donut. I forget what the second word was.
What was the next word?
Da? Am I spelling it correctly? What was the third word? Okay, I believe you. And then the second most important part of the Noisy Night drawings is you have to have this shape here that points to his head so that you know who's saying it. And that is called the voice balloon. It's a technical term. You may never heard it before. We're trained in college to know what these things are. So there's our old man yelling da, da, da because he wants that donut. And he's obviously missing an arm.
How about a big round of
Thank
applause
you.
for Brian Big for
Thank
drawing
you.
on the spot.
Thank you.
And how about for an even huger round of applause for me for just sitting there?
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, before we go, I want to show you something kind of cool. I have never seen this before in my life. Something that you can really, it was made here, and maybe can only see here. This is a book I wrote called The Skunk, but it's a special version that got made here. I know, it's a little gross. Yeah. It's about a man who gets followed around by a skunk. But the inside of this book has something that's very cool. This book is a Braille edition of the book. Does anybody know what Braille is?
That's pretty cool.
Braille is an alphabet that you, yeah, did you know? Yeah.
Yes, if you didn't also read this book.
This is different. This one is just me and somebody named Patrick McDonald. So Brian is just going to sit here while I talk about this. So this book is in Braille, and Braille is an alphabet that you can feel instead of see. So if you can't see, you could still read the book just by feeling it. So if you touch this right here, you can feel the cover, and this in Braille says The Skunk by Mac Barnett and Patrick McDonald. So do you want to feel a skunk right here?
No.
Oh, no, sorry, the word the skunk. The word the skunk. You want to feel that? Put your finger right there. You want to feel it? Put your finger right there. Isn't that cool? Yeah.
Cool, it's like dots, right?
Here, you want to feel? There you go.
Don't touch the
Does
skunk.
anybody here want to feel?
And don't upset the skunk either.
You want here? Put it right there.
Then don't eat the skunk.
You want to feel? All right. And if anybody didn't get a chance, we'll make sure you can on your way out. And we have one more cool surprise, which is that everybody who came here today is going to get a copy of Noisy Night signed by us, thanks to an Open Book Foundation.
Thank you,
So let's
Open
give a
Book
big round of
Foundation.
applause to an Open Book Foundation.
Yay!
for donating this copy. You all have a copy, so just be sure to read it at night very loud, so everybody will wonder, what is going on right next door to me? Yeah.
If I were you, I would not wake up my baby.
That's why I'm glad it's up to you.
How old is your baby sister?
Like 10 months from now.
Oh, we're not going to wake her up. I'm with
Thank you
you.
so much, Tyler Elementary, for
Thanks.
coming out this morning. And thank you to the Library of Congress for having us. Bye, guys.
Five.
This has been a presentation of the Library of Congress. Visit us at loc.gov.